try to finish up a message that I started a couple of weeks ago entitled The Race That Is Set Before Us. How many of you know that we are all in a race? We are all in a contest, if you will. You may not think this is a contest, but the Word of God is chock full of examples. And in the writings of the Word of God, giving us physical examples of secular things that go on in our culture, in our life, and comparing to them to the things of God. And I love the way it starts off here in Hebrews chapter 12. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience. Everybody say patience. Let us run with patience the race that is set before us. Do you know one of the biggest problems that the church world has today is patience? Somebody said, well, I prayed for patience once. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not talking about patience in the sense that you're thinking about, but the Greek word here is endurance and perseverance. These are all words that come together. One of the biggest problems that the church world has today is that we get in a hurry. I call it wanting to go from nothing to the Pope's chair in 2 weeks. Now, I said that this morning to let you know because most of that's in the news now. The Pope that served in the Roman Catholic Church has resigned, and they've got a conclave together, and they're going to pick a new Pope. And I said that because I want to draw a parallel with spiritual maturity and what you see in that church and in other churches. What I meant by that is this. Some people want to go from the altar to the pastor's chair in a week or two. And in so doing, they get just enough nourishment of the Word. They get what I call commonly a sugar high. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run the race with patience that is set before us. Somebody said, you know, I wish I could have the ministry of brother so-and-so or sister so-and-so. I wish I could play a piano and sing like Sister Vicky. I wish I could teach like Brother Dave, or I preach like Brother Todd Hoskins or Brother Dwight Thompson or any other person that you want to put in there. I wish I could do this and I wish I could do that. And I'm here to tell you and I'm submit to you that you can do all things through Christ who gives you strength. But there's a time of endurance. There's a time of study. There's a time of staying with the course. You ever heard the story of the tortoise and the hare? You know the story. That's an old nursery rhyme from years ago. They both got on the starting line, and the gun went off. And the hare, being so quick and jumping around and jumped way ahead and got way ahead, and it was so far ahead that there was no way that we must realize that anytime we have a purpose, we have a reason. That is the fact, or that is the fact that the race of faith is a lifelong process. Can I tell you, it doesn't matter what age you get. It doesn't matter the tenure that you have in ministry. You can be pastoring for 30 years, 20 years, about to be 19 years. You can be a missionary. You can be an evangelist. You can be a worship leader for many years. You can have a pedigree and a resume that's a mile long. But it does not mean that you've arrived and you will never be challenged again. There's always going to be challenges in your walk with Christ. There's a race, friend, that's set before you. And there is a purpose that you have, and there's a reason for the purpose, so that you can endure, so that you can make it, so that you can walk out of the thicket, so that you can walk out of the desert, so that you can have places of refreshing at times, and you can have a season of refreshing to go back into it again. So you can hear him say, well done, thou good and faithful servant. That is why we must do what the Word of God encourages us to do. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 23 said, let us hold unswervingly to the hope we profess. For he who promised is faithful.